Hey everyone, and welcome to another patch overview for the Apex and ReduxConquer servers. We have some different changes coming in here that are going to heavily affect how our PvP events work, and so we wanted to give you a quick overview of how that's going to affect your rewards and how the events themselves are played. Basically, we want to discourage people who are going AFK in events and actually offer more significant rewards for those who actually do want to play in events. So the new reward structure is going to involve oftentimes doing first, second, third place prizes, as well as extra experience rewards for people who are in the top 5 or even 10 players. So what's going to happen here is with Elite PK, which runs every 6 hours, the number 1 player gets 2 Dragon Balls, number 2 player gets 1 Dragon Ball, and number 3 player gets a +1 stone. We'll probably end up tweaking those further, but we wanted to make it a little bit more fair to those who might have been sort of cheated out of their first spot finish, and make sure that they're still getting something for participating besides experience. For the Last Man Standing and the Free-for-All Skill Tournament, so the Free-for-All Fast Play Tournament, it's going to give you 2 +1 stones if you're in first place, 1 +1 stone if you're in second place, or a Meteor Scroll if you're in third place. King of the Hill is going to be 1 Dragon Ball for first, +1 stone for second, and Met Scroll for third. Now, Freeze War is a little bit more tricky because you do have teams. What we have introduced here is a slightly more robust AFK system here. If you join and you don't have the Fast Blade Sensor skill, or you're not using the correct weapon, or you don't even try and attack someone, then it's going to flag you as AFK. You're not going to get any reward for participating. We have then introduced a +1 stone reward for the top 3 players in that event on the winning team. Now, we will likely tweak those calculations more. Basically, it's how effective you are at hitting enemy targets and how effective you are at unfreezing allied targets. It will require some tweaking, though. Similar idea with the experience rewards. We've adjusted it for first, second, third, fifth, even 10th place, regardless of if you're on the winning team or losing team. So as long as you're actively participating in the event, you're going to get much better experience. You will also notice that we have disabled stacking. No longer are you going to hit an entire stack with one Fast Blade. So when I hit them here, you're going to notice that I only freeze one person. This one's still there, and I can go ahead and unfreeze my counterpart. Now, what we're going it helps if I actually hit. What we're going to do here is Hello World is not going to use any skill, and so they're going to be flagged as AFK. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off this tournament here. You're going to notice that I do win, but this one's going to say you appear to be AFK and have not been rewarded for this event. So if you get that, it means you're not actually participating, and as you can see, they got nothing. As you can see here, I got a +1 stone. If I had allies, the other effective allies on my team would also be getting a +1 stone. So, as we just mentioned, we have changed how stacking works. If you are hitting a stack, you're only going to hit the top player or a monster on that stack. So here, I'm going to stack with my friend, and I'm going to summon a guard. That is not guard. Do we even have the guard skill on this? Well, I should have it on here. Perfect. So we're going to summon a guard, and I'm going to hit. Help if I actually switch to the proper PK mode. There you go. The guard dies. Then the top player, the most recent person onto the stack, dies. And then I'm going to be able to focus the final person. You'll notice that ghosts do not work for stacking. We did not enable that. As far as we're concerned, that was a bug on the official Conquer servers. But this is a start to make Fast Blade and other skills a little bit more reliable and a little bit more true to how things worked on the official servers. Now, you may have noticed that my FPS is a little bit different here. This one here is back to the old FPS limit. This one is on the new FPS limit. Obviously, it's dropping because I'm recording right now. We have added support for multiple client versions being able to connect. Now, I cannot guarantee 100% uptime on the old FPS limit here, but for those who are complaining saying my computer can't run it on the new higher FPS, well, you'll be able to use a different patch, and it'll work properly for you. In terms of some other changes that we've made here, using Fastblade will no longer actually hit where you are standing. It will start one location away from you. As you can see, I cannot Fastblade the stack that I'm currently standing on. We have also enabled debug mode. So, debug FB will show the line. It's going to show you on the ground only to yourself where is actually being hit. This is the actual hitbox for the skill. You'll notice that some angles show a much shorter line, and from all the proof that we can find looking at old videos and the official servers, this is actually how it was supposed to work. I cannot guarantee that. I'm sure some people will yell at me, but this way you can do some tests and see how the calculations are currently working. You can not see this on other players, and it will only show your most recent strike, so we're going to let all players use that in case they want to. So that command is open to everyone. Another thing that we have done here is we have reduced the maximum amount of Cyclone and Superman that you can store up at a time. What people were noticing is if, let's say, you were playing a Cyclone Archer, if you were to go ahead and kill thousands of monsters or something like that, it would buffer up to 90 seconds of Cyclone, where you didn't have to kill any new monsters, and we felt that was a little bit unfair. So we've lowered that to 40 seconds. That will also help influence how Guild War balance is going. We won't have archers stacking 90 seconds of Cyclone or Trojans stacking 90 seconds of Cyclone on a broken gate and then jumping all over the map like crazy. So we did change that. That is going in this patch. Another thing that we've done to help even out experience is we have changed EXP pots to be 50 CP. Now don't panic too much, because that's actually not going to affect you hardly at all. As people have noticed, the Ganoderma and Titan spawns have been quite heavily camped over the last little while, seeing as we've added the flask drop to it. So you're going to notice more and more players being willing to sell experience pots to other players, but we wanted to actually encourage those trading players in market rather than just buying from the mall. Now, for new players, we don't want this to be an obstruction to them getting into the server or leveling. So what we've done is we've changed the Monster Exterminator quests so that every time you turn one in, you have a relatively high chance to gain some double experience time. Right now it's set to 10 minutes. And the chance of getting that double experience time goes up based on the level of monsters that you're killing. So the first time you turn in your very, very first quest, it's going to give you 10 minutes of double experience time to say, hey, welcome to the server, and it will also give you 12 hours of free VIP time. Again, that's to help get players into the server itself. After that point, if you continue to do quests, you're going to have a 50, 60, even 70% chance of gaining 10 minutes of extra double experience every time you turn in one of those quests. That way, new players are not going to be punished, and it will be less abusable by high-level players who are using the noob experience to like power level waters without having to use those CP. So this is now a luxury. I'm assuming most players will not use it, and they'll instead opt to buy from players in game. Again, that will be up to further changes. We may continue to tweak it as needed. As another little thing that people were technically abusing, fireworks had no cooldown. We've changed that. You can't spam an entire inventory of fireworks and try and lag out people on your own screen. There's a 1-second delay between each firework that you use. So that is being added in this patch to help reduce abuse cases. And we're going to be keeping an eye on the dash skill and seeing what we can do with it as well. As of right now, we don't have a fully working custom version of the skill, and we don't want to go ahead and add too much content that wasn't in Classic, but we are aware of the issues that it is causing, where some players are using it to dash players out. So for the time being, and I completely understand this won't affect most players already on the server because they'll already have warriors, but we're going to change the dash skill so that you can't learn it until level 120 from the NPC. That won't affect players because they won't use it for leveling. Right now, people are only using it to troll. So the skill will remain. If you already have the skill, you'll still have it. But to learn it on a new character, you'll have to be level 120 to do that. It'll just reduce the number of noob warriors dashing power leveling stacks out of the way. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this patch overview. I'm sorry that it was a little bit longer than necessary, but I really wanted to make sure that people understood what was changing here and the reason for those changes. Hopefully you guys enjoy these newly restructured PvP events, and you can expect to see some more PvP events as well as changes to the dueling system coming in the next week or so. Thank you so much for watching, and have an awesome night.